The smell of fried plantain filled the cramped but lively kitchen. Oil sizzled in the pan while large pots bubbled on the gas burner. In the corner, a girl diced onions with speed and precision, while another stirred jollof rice in a wide aluminum pot. At the center of it all stood Madam Jubilee, her head wrapped in a vibrant scarf, apron tied tight over her waist, arms moving with graceful efficiency. Madam Jubilee was no ordinary caterer. In the bustling streets of Benin City, her name carried weight. From society weddings to political naming ceremonies, Madam Jubilee's food had graced countless tables. Her reputation wasn't just for her taste, it was for her character. People trusted her. Despite her success, Madam Jubilee remained grounded. Her staff, mostly younger girls she trained from scratch, saw her as a big sister. She had built her business from scratch, starting with just a kerosene stove and a borrowed pot. Now she owned her own equipment, had a rented space, and clients who booked her 6 months in advance. But even with the growing success, Madame Jubilee still felt the weight of life. Her mother's medical bills, rent increases, and the constant pressure to stay afloat in a country where everything could change overnight. It all kept her pushing. One hot Tuesday afternoon, after returning from an event, she sat in her office sipping malt, exhausted. Her girls had gone home for the day. As she scrolled through her phone, a message popped up. "Good afternoon. I got your number from Madam Osaro. I have a private catering job. Please call me urgently." No name, no details. Madame Jubilee hesitated, then dialed. A woman picked up. Her voice calm, polite, but strangely detached. "You're Madam Jubilee, right? I've heard of you. I have a high-profile private job. It's this weekend. Very good pay. You'll be cooking alone. I'll provide everything. You just need to bring yourself." Madame Jubilee frowned. "I don't understand. No assistance? And what's the event?" "I'll explain when we meet. I'll send a driver. Just trust me. This job will change your life." There was something about the woman's voice. Firm but pleasant. And the mention of Madame Osaro made it harder to say no. Madame Osaro was a respected socialite, a past client who paid well and on time. After a long pause, Madame Jubilee agreed. It started on a quiet Thursday afternoon. Madame Jubilee was in her shop, seated behind her desk, flipping through a well-worn recipe journal when the door creaked open. A young, elegantly dressed woman stepped in, tall, composed, and unfamiliar. "Good afternoon, ma. Are you Madame Jubilee?" she asked, voice soft but firm. "Yes, I am," Jubilee responded, curious. The woman smiled. "Someone important is hosting a private event. We've heard about your excellent work. They'd like you to cater. Personally, I don't work alone. My girls usually help me." Jubilee's voice trailed off. "This job requires just you." The woman cut in, polite but unwavering. "It's a high-class gathering. Discretion is key. You'll be paid handsomely. The car will pick you up Saturday morning. Ingredients will be provided." Jubilee hesitated. The money was tempting, but everything else felt strange. "No tasting?" she asked. "No sample menu?" "They've seen your work. They trust you." No name was given, no location until the day. Just a written instruction in a cream-colored envelope with a strange symbol on the seal. Madame Jubilee felt uneasy, but the promised amount scribbled inside the letter was more than she'd earned in 6 months. By Saturday morning, curiosity and need had overpowered caution. She didn't tell her girls. She didn't tell anyone. At exactly 7 a.m., a sleek black SUV pulled up in front of her shop. The driver said nothing, just opened the back door. And that was how Madame Jubilee, clutching her cooking bag, stepped into the unknown. The drive was long and silent. The windows were tinted so heavily Madame Jubilee could barely see outside. She checked her phone. No network. They finally stopped in front of a tall, isolated mansion surrounded by thick trees. The air felt heavy, too quiet, like the land itself was holding its breath. As the gate creaked open, she saw others stepping out of different vehicles, all women. Some older, some younger. All carried food, warmers, pots, and utensils. She wasn't the only caterer. A slim man in all white with eyes that never blinked greeted them at the door. "Welcome. You've been chosen." Madam Jubilee's heart skipped. I thought I was the only one. "No one works alone here," the man said calmly. "Follow me." They were led to a courtyard behind the mansion. Rows of outdoor stoves and cooking spaces already arranged. Everything needed was already there. Rice, tomatoes, yams, oil, and then the meat. Madame Jubilee froze. On the large steel tray in front of her were cuts of flesh she couldn't recognize. Human-like, a severed hand, part of a thigh. She staggered back. "What? What is this?" she gasped.
Did you enjoy this video? Subscribe to my YouTube channel. Comment in the comment section, "I need part 2." Don't forget to like and share. Thank you for watching.